G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a two-shot plasma rifle. This weapon was received of killing a ghoul when somebody nuked White Springs, and it took many legendary drops to actually find something like this, and I'm glad I've actually got something to show for it. So what we have right now is 50 and 56 ballistic and energy damage respectively, which is okay, but we can improve that in just a second. But it's worth mentioning that I've got this configured to a sniper. We've got the sniper barrel and a rifle stock, so therefore it will be increased with the rifleman perk. So if we quickly open up our perks and we'll spill some rifleman points on, we'll go expert rifleman, we'll go Master Rifleman 2, and the single rifleman there. That leaves us one more, I guess. We'll just chuck the commando one in. We'll get to the commando variant of this a little bit later. And instead of having Mr. Sandman, we're going to be using Marathoner instead, because we can't use a suppressor with this, so that'd just be dead weight in the perk. So we've just gone for that one so we can sprint around a little bit more easier instead. So, with all of those perks applied, this thing does 70 and 78 damage respectively. 148 damage isn't too bad, I suppose. For the attachments, there's actually not a whole lot going on here compared to its Fallout 4 counterpart. First of all, for the receiver, we've only got 4 in here, including the prime capacitor, which is actually gotten from a rare drop from a Scorch Beast. You can actually farm this, I suppose, by killing some Scorch Beast. Generally down in the Cranberry Bog is where you find them, but that'll actually allow you to do extra damage. We're not going to worry about that. This is a receiver for another time. There's a gamma wave emitter here, which will give you a little bit of burning damage over time and increase your ammo capacity ever so slightly. We're running at 9 ammo capacity here, and this increases it to 13, so plus 4 is not all that much. I think it's fine. Obviously the standard doesn't do anything, and the vicious one will give us a little bit more crit damage and hipfire accuracy, which is good to offset the giant sniper barrel, which will destroy our hipfire accuracy a little bit. Now, I'm going to switch to this one a little bit later, but stabilized automatic barrel, I believe, is the only auto barrel for this thing in the game, which is interesting. It's got 91 fire rate, which is actually pretty good. Most of the ballistic weapons, including the handmade rifle, only is at 75, and that's capped to there, so that's pretty good. And for the stocks, we'll just go for the aligned stock. This one will give you better recoil and hipfire accuracy. There is a stabilized stock here, but I prefer to get a little bit more hipfire accuracy out of my weapons sometimes. And a reflex sight, because putting a scope on this is madness, because the projectiles fire so slow. Now, if you've got an explosive variant of this, since you do have a little bit of ballistic damage along with it, you can actually benefit greatly from it. And go for your life with a scope there, because the explosive projectiles are hit scan. But if you haven't got anything like that, yeah, going for a reflex sight is probably your best bet. Crafting ammo for this is pretty straightforward. Make sure you put on the perks called Super Duper and Ammo Smith, because that'll allow you to create more, like a 30% chance to create more, which is good. And obviously Ammo Smith allows you to create more in a single round, making you a little bit more efficient with your components. Oh yeah, here's my gear. Chameleon, 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 chameleon. Stand fast. Vault suit with the shielded lining. More strength, endurance, intelligence, luck. Okay, let's start off with the muties. We've got plenty ammo in hand, so this should be going okay. Now, these tin can things are very important. You want to harvest them whenever possible, because they contain lead and steel, allowing you to create more bullets. So far, so good. Note how we haven't gone over the danger yet, so I guess we're getting sneak attack crits with this, which is kind of strange, seeing as it's not suppressed. We're going to keep this sneak attack crit train going as well as we can, and you'll notice that the projectiles are slow, and for some reason I think the lag of this game kind of screws you over a bit, because you saw I shot that guy there, and it took him a little bit to actually react to that. So I think that, in turn, with the speed of the projectiles, makes this thing basically, you need to be up close and personal with it anyway. I guess you can treat it kind of like a shotgun, I suppose. Alright, another super mutant warlord here. Let's go for some bat shots because we can. And kind of disappointed with that bat shot there. I expected a little bit better, but at least we get some of it. And ooh, okay, there's a plasma rifle there. That's another way you can get them in the game, and yeah. Acquiring this thing is actually kind of easy, because generally when you get as far as the Enclave in the main story, whoops, spoilers, yeah, you can do the events and they'll usually give you a plasma rifle, which to my mind, I think you can unlock more attachments for regular plasma rifles if you scrap Enclave ones. They're not any different at all. I don't even think the texture is different. And how did I miss him? That was a critical strike. Okay, there might be a little bit wrong with this weapon, I think. But if we can get those sneak attack criticals, much like a suppressed weapon, we can actually do kind of alright with this. Despite being a two-shot weapon, hipfire and recoil are really not much of a problem, and we've cleared out this area to... alright, we did alright. We've got healing factor on, so we just immediately healed everything that was taken off right away, but that we did alright. Not exactly a top tier weapon. I think I could do better with my handmade rifle, but, you know, it's a different weapon. Okay, let's see how well we can do against a big bear. And the reason I specifically wanted to fight this bear is he's a little bit further off than the super mutants were. And here you get a real point to see how slow the projectiles are. Not to mention how the muzzle flash sort of gets in your way. Aiming in third person seems to alleviate that a little bit. Still managed to stay hidden throughout all of that despite firing a loud plasma rifle, but whatever. So one of the main benefits of energy weapons in general is their weight. They're not really all that heavy, which can be useful if you're carrying around a lot of weapons. You can actually get away with having like a laser pistol in your back pocket for some times when it gets really bad. But if I just compare this to my Furious handmade rifle, that's sitting at 18.8 pounds. This one's at 5.4. That's massive. And when you can factor in how much more ammo you can get with that weight, you can actually carry a lot more ammo for your energy weapons. So it's a different cup of tea, but there's certainly benefits to actually make it worthwhile. Also, this place is uncleared again. Chances are it'll be either gulpers or anglers. It is in fact rad toads. Well, this should be easy prey. Keep in mind that I wasn't sneaking them, that's why it seemed to be a little bit tougher than the rest of them, but generally rad toads are actually kind of on the squishy side. If I go into hitting against this one, basically two-shotted. Now, I don't think you can actually harvest nuclear material from enemies that are melted down. Also doesn't help when the inventories don't load for you, but we'll try again on the people up here, or the things up here. There usually is the king enemy around here. It's parasitic. There's the glowing one who is the boss. I like the design of the rad toads. They're kind of creepy and weird, and I like them. There we go. And do I get nuclear material out of that? No, I don't. But what I do get is a stim pack and a heavy metal arm of some description. So, no problem dealing with, honestly, low tier enemies. Rad toads aren't a problem past level 20, to be honest. Okay, so here we are in Uranium Fever. This event just popped up, so I've opted to jump in and see how we go against these miners here. And whilst they saw me level up before, I've actually thrown another point into Rifleman, bringing our damage to 80 and 89 respectively. So a nice increase, I suppose. It's pretty decent. Granted, I could have a lot more if I decided to put some into Bloody Mess, which actually looks really good right now because using this thing in VATS is actually kind of terrible. And even with the reflex sight, the AP on this thing per shot is actually that much that it's probably not even worth it using VATS on it because it just, you don't get enough shots off. See, not too good in VATS, is it? Also, I'm having a lot of trouble actually hitting these guys. Alright, terminated management personnel, that's the notification for some legendary showing up. There he is, he's only 1-star level 40. We can't get exactly top gear from him. Like, if we get an instigating ghost rifle from him, I'm gonna be mad because it'll be level 40 instead of level 45, which is, or level 35, which is what I really want it to be. Also, we're being kind of swarmed right now, which is not great. I'm gonna take cover as I reload this. We'll quickly kill the legendary one, and then the one down there. And lastly, we'll try to kill him. He's got a furious gamma gun, eh? Well, considering how many enemies are actually immune to radiation in this, that's probably just worth selling, to be honest. Also, one of my uranium extractors is buggered right now. Although saying that, that's actually got 83 ballistic damage on it, so maybe not as bad as I thought.
Detecting terminated management personnel. Remove this individual from the premises.
Looks like I've got a 3-star this time, which is surprisingly resistant to my plasma weaponry, I suppose. It's quite tough. Luckily he spawned without any guns, so I can just sort of sidestep away from him and backpedal, and he will be able to do nothing to me. There we go. And he gave me a Berserker's Switchblade. Well, what does it do? It's fucking garbage. Thank you.
Detecting terminated management personnel. Remove this individual from the premises. Adequate uranium volume extracted and processed.
Don't quite understand why my plasma rifle seems to be so bad with critical hits, despite having a vicious receiver, which increases the damage of it, and also better criticals. Vampire's shish kebab. Is that any good? It is not. Well, looks like I'll be rich when I go over to White Springs and sell all of this crap.
Extraction complete. Extractors must complete cleaning and ventilation process before continuing operation. Please vacate.
And I also got a Vanguard's metal left arm. Whatever, I don't like it. Right, I want to test this on a big baddie like Baby Swan. Let's see how we do. Can't see his health bar right now. There it is, at halfway. That's actually pretty decent. Haven't been spotted yet, which is useful. Surely he's gonna spot. Oh wait, I've got chameleon armor, that's fine. Well, I'd say we did alright there. Used very little ammo to kill a very big target, which is good. Also, that's an assault rifle. Nobody get excited over that. That is a... Whoops, that's the walk button. But that is a guaranteed drop of an assault rifle. He's never not dropped some sort of high capacity, high tier assault rifle, which is good. Also, nuclear material is also useful for some things. Okay, tweaking my build and this gun a little bit. Now I've got the automatic barrel. Looks like a Ghostbusters gun, doing 54 and 58 damage, ballistic and energy respectively, which is okay. Pop a quick reload and we get 27 bullets. That's not actually too bad. There's Swan standing over there. We've just hopped to the server. Let's see how we go. Okay, this thing's AP usage is still through the roof, despite being an automatic platform, so yeah, no using this as a stealth commando build for me. Also, his health bar isn't showing up. Okay, so from that it appears like you kind of want to use this as a sniper weapon then, don't you? You get better damage per bullet, which will allow you to, obviously, hold on to that ammo supply, because I went through quite a little more ammo than I did this time with Swan there, so we'll see how we go against some other things. Maybe a Scorch Beast. Hopefully I've got the ammo to actually do it. Okay, so I'm going to buff myself up a little bit, even though chems are a little bit less strong if you've got the healing perk or healing mutation like I do. There's a Scorch Beast. He's level 65 and also stuck in the ground. Good for me, that makes him an easy target. Now, I'm not sure if the game is willing to show it or not, but I feel like I'm getting sneak attack criticals. Also, you'll notice the speed of the projectiles is going to screw us over in a really bad way. So much so that we can't really hit him, so I guess we have to wait until he gets on the ground as we get fucking roasted by his acid there. That's not good. So, I guess we're praying for good behavior. We're playing this like a melee build where you'd have to wait for him to actually land on the ground before you actually do anything, which is not ideal. Recoil seems controllable enough, but when we do get the hits on, it's actually pretty good. There's the good behavior I asked for. Alright, you just stay right there, Mr. Batman dude. Well, I guess he was defeated by none other than a tree, I suppose. And there's the Scorch Beast fight. We actually did better than expected. I think I would have killed him a lot slower with the sniper barrel there, so there you go. You've got merit for putting multiple different types of barrels on this. Just don't use it in VATS. If you've got VATS perks like I do, you're much better off putting them somewhere else, such as Bloody Mess for one. You can get Luck of the Draw if that's fixed, although that will actually eat your components when you do that. I guess Mysterious Stranger, although you won't be using VATS, will ya? Starch Genes is a good one if you've got a mutation that you want to hold on to, but whenever I just go into a rad scrub, I just equip that perk, and then, yeah, then I can put other decent perks that actually needed to be there, but I think you get the point. That was a 2-shot plasma rifle, bit of a throwback to that video I did in Fallout 4. That was one of my most successful videos when I first started off, so there you go. If you'd like to see this weapon in your game, it'll be a random legendary drop, but I will take offers for this weapon. It starts at 2 caps in a purified water. That's your starting bid. Thank you for watching, guys.